The midterm primary elections are underway, and this morning results from some key races are providing new insights into the future of the Republican Party and the influence of former President Trump. In Nebraska, Jim Pillen has won the Republican primary for governor, defeating Trump-backed businessman and state senator Charles Herbster. During the campaign, 8 women accused Herbster of sexual misconduct over a period of 6 years. He has denied those allegations. Jim Pillen will face Democratic candidate Carol Blood this fall. But in West Virginia's 2nd District, Trump's pick, Representative Alex Mooney, came out on top against fellow incumbent Representative David McKinley in the Republican primary. He'll meet Democratic nominee Barry Wendell in the general election. For more on that, we're joined by NBC News correspondent Vaughn Hillyard in Wheeling, West Virginia. Hi, Vaughn. Good morning. All right, you were with us yesterday. We've been talking through Trump's influence here, what it's going to look like in the Republican Party. We just kind of had some back and forth there, some that won, some that didn't. But 16 months after leaving office, what are the takeaways here?
Yeah, I mean, these primaries are moving along here. You know, we should know that we're going to be heading over into Pennsylvania right after this, and then Georgia here. These were just, preliminary markers here. You know, after J.D. Vance's victory, in which it was largely propelled by Donald Trump's endorsement over the course of about 2 weeks, him jumping 32%, that led us here to West Virginia, where it was a notable victory last night by Alex Mooney over David McKinley. This was a major focus point for Trump here. He was looking to oust McKinley. You know, he was one of those GOP incumbents who voted to certify the 2020 election and who voted for an independent commission to investigate the January 6th insurrection, much to the ire of Donald Trump. And that's where he got involved with Alex Mooney, who voted just the opposite way here. And this is kind of one of the first targets here. You can see we've got a list of about 12 individuals, GOP incumbents around the country, that Trump is trying to oust from office in an effort to consolidate power ahead of a potential 2024 presidential run. But we should note, of course, at the same time, that Herbster lost. Charles Herbster, who Donald Trump campaigned alongside with just 1 week ago in Nebraska, is notable because it shows that Donald Trump is not going to, throw a perfect game here by year's end. He will have some losses, but the most notable part about Herbster is, of course, he was running this campaign while facing allegations by 8 women of groping, which all allegations he has denied, but that very much tainted and overshadowed his campaign.
Yeah, Vaughn, let's talk now about some of the 2 incumbent congressmen facing off, answering for their record on Capitol Hill. What were the big issues that decided the race there?
Yeah, one of them was infrastructure. And when you look at the rankings, from bridges to roads, West Virginia ranks 50th every step of the way here. And that is where David McKinley was very defensive of his vote in favor of the infrastructure package that passed last year through Congress. He was one of 13 Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives to do so. Alex Mooney, who won last night and received that Trump endorsement, he voted no on that measure. And I think that that's where David McKinley's statement last night is telling. I just want to read you in part. He said, quote, "Serving the people of West Virginia has been the honor of my life. I'm proud that I have always stood up for what's right for West Virginia, even when it hurt me politically. The groundwork we have laid over the last 12 years has paved the way for a more prosperous and diverse West Virginia economy." Of course, that is David McKinley, who first started serving this community in public office back in 1980, essentially making the case that his infrastructure vote was the right one, and he always had the best interests of West Virginia natives in mind.
Absolutely. Well, so far, sort of a mixed bag here in terms of Trump's endorsements. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Vaughn, I think maybe it's time for our election music. We need that do, right? It's primary season. All right, Vaughn, good to see you. Thank you.
I'm into it. Let's cue it up.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.